Hello everyone, welcome back to the Addicted Book Run, where my addictions all over the internet. On this channel, I do book hauls, book reviews, both physical and digital, audiobooks, and so much more. Alright, so I have an announcement to make. I do, and I am not sorry to make it because it's absolutely needed. So, the second, on Wednesday, I will officially, after I send that one order out by Amazon, and also get the second book in the Dungeon Crawl and Carl series, and another book. I will officially be on a book buying ban, and the reason for it is quite simple. I have too many fucking books. I really want to get my TBR, my physical TBR, as well as my digital TBR down to 0. I don't want to have any more books to read. So the goal is, after this paycheck and after I order, that's it. As soon as that order arrives, I'm going to get rid of Amazon Prime. I'm only keeping Kindle Unlimited because I have access to hundreds of thousands of books. It's like having a library, but you gotta pay a monthly thing for it. So no more book hauls. Definitely book reviews. I'm definitely going to review books, but no more book hauls unless they come from the library. I'm definitely going to be utilizing the library a lot during the course of the remainder 6 months of the year, or 5 months of the year. The reason for this is that things have changed, and I'm not going to go in details about it. I'm not going to tell you any more than that. But I am definitely going to be working to rectify that situation and get back into the green. But even then, I am definitely not going to be buying books. Now, why am I buying the second book in the Dungeon Crawl and Carl series is because I am enjoying the first book a lot. Though I am taking my time with it, immersing myself in that world, savoring it and everything. So if it takes me a couple of months to finish that book, I'm fine with that. I really personally don't care. So what I'm basically going to do is I am still going to be reading Stephen King, but I will be getting my books from the library. Now, I had to put back Firestarter, but Firestarter is at my library, so I'm not going to miss out at all. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing that. Now, how long is the book buying ban going to last? Well, it's going to last until I get my physical TBR and my digital TBR down to 0. So if you get content that's, then understand I am not doing it. Now I will be writing down on a piece of paper books that I really want to buy, but those are going to have to wait until Now, if the book that I want to read next is on Kindle Unlimited, then I will go ahead and do that. Kindle Unlimited is the only subscription service that I actually want. I don't want the rest of it. I just no more Amazon Prime, no more of that. Only Kindle Unlimited. That's the only one I'm going to pay for. So with this check coming up, I'm going to be extremely frugal with my money. I still got to pay $100 for my Word, but that's a year, not a month. So yeah, so that's what I am basically going to do. And I'm also not going to be borrowing from the bank anymore. That's definitely something I am not going to do. Now, if I have no choice in the matter, I will let my brother know. Says, hey, I had to borrow, say, $5 from the bank, and he can give me money to pay that off. But that's I'm just like emergencies and everything. So what I am basically talking about in this video, and me being on a book buying ban, does segue into the topic I'm going to talk about. So I was watching a video. This gentleman was talking about that reading should not be a competition, and I am going to 100% agree with him on that. When I go and set a goal, that is a goal for myself. It's not a goal to beat the guy in New York or the lady in Washington State. That's not the reasoning behind it. I'm not doing it to compete with anyone. I'm doing it because I like a challenge. I like challenging myself on different things, especially things that I can actually afford to challenge myself on. So I'm at 72% of my goal reached for this year's reading challenge. Next year, I'm doing 26 books for 2026. But those books are going to be books I already own. And that is very important to realize that when you're trying to compete with other people, you're going to always lose because they have workarounds. Like they'll go on, say, Wikipedia, and they will Google, or they'll go on there and they'll look at the synopsis for the book, and then they will come up with a review that is believable. Which is why I say most booktubers do not read the books that they buy. And you know, I was watching this one video where this former booktuber influencer was talking about the keywords that they have to say to get people to buy the book. And these are from publishing houses that do this. They want these extremely bad authors to be elevated to where you want to buy the book. And then he talks about, the 15 books that you must read right now. And it's just to get you to spend the money. And that is one of the huge problems I have with BookTube and Book Talk. Is it's always a competition of how many book hauls can you do in a month? How many book hauls can you do in a week? And that's another reason that I'm pulling myself out of book hauls. I'm still doing book reviews. Don't worry about that. I'm still doing book reviews. But it has become this thing where you literally have to compete with other people, and I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it. Now, does this mean I'm leaving BookTube? No, but if I do hauls, they're going to be from the library. If I do book reviews, they're going to be books I already own that I've just finished reading, and that's important for me as a reader to focus on the books I already have, and then say, okay. So yeah, it's important for me. It is absolutely important to me to say I need to basically plug the hole of the money that I'm spending on books that's going to take me 3 or 4 years to read, because I just have so many of them. So the book buying ban might be up to 4 years. I may, you may not get an Amazon book haul for 4 years, and that is totally fine with me. That's totally fine with me. but it's something else. It really is. Um, and it's like, it's it really is something. It's something else. It's just like, you kind of shake your head at the whole thing, and it's a good idea to shake your head at the whole thing, because you're just you're just given into that hype. You're given into that, oh, I gotta buy this book. And Barnes and Noble is just as guilty of this as Amazon. Well, not actually Amazon, because Amazon's not promoting it, but like booktubers and all that. Like, oh, look, there's the Wing and Claw that's coming out. It's the same freaking books that you bought years ago, like, last year or something like that. But it's now in a different cover with different sprayed edges, and it's like probably going to be whatever. And I'm like, no, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. I've got enough freaking books. So it's annoying. It's absolutely annoying to like no end. Absolutely no end. Um and it's kind of bad. It's kind of bad that people feel like they have to compete with other people, and everything. And I think it takes the fun out of reading a book, and just reading at your own pace, and not having to compete with like 800 people and everything. And it's just like, I can't do it. I cannot do it anymore. I cannot. And I'm probably, my wallet is probably going to thank me for it. My wallet's going to be a lot lighter this week coming up, but it is what it is. But it's something else. It definitely is something else in itself. So another video I watched was this woman who was trying to defend overconsumption of books, basically stating that it's not really a problem. It's not really a problem. I'm like, it is a problem. She's like, why are buying all these books so bad? And it's like, have you ever tried to talk to a drug addict? They don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. It's just, I have a problem with that. I definitely do. I have a definite problem with that. And she's like, well, if it doesn't harm the environment, it harms the environment, because those books end up in landfills. Like I said, I'm going to be going somewhere and coming back, and that's going to be money. And then it's like, and then when I come home, I'm going to gather up like all the books that I'm donating. 3 whole bags of donated books that I'm going to be donating to the library. And those books are going to go and be borrowed by people that are going to enjoy them. And that's what I'm going to do. But the thing about it is that one of the huge reasons that I'm doing it is because I want to minimize how many books I actually own. I'm now no longer interested in the 1,000 books library. I am interested in minimizing what I buy, what I read, all that type of stuff. Well, really not what I read, because I can't help it, but yeah. So overconsumption in books is real, and she's like, I don't understand why people, people are criticizing people buying a bunch of books. It's like, yeah, because they see where it's going, And I even told my brother, I said, I'm going to donate a bunch of books to the library. And I was already told I could do that. And he was like, oh, great. he was all for it. And it's great to have that support. It is. And I also told Stephen that after this order, I'm not buying any more books. I have enough books to do me at least 4 years. Especially with the fact that I'm taking a much different approach to my channel than I've done before. So on January 1st, when I tell you guys, hey, I'm reading 26 books in 2026, I'm just going to pull a random book out of the air or out of my ass and I'll say, hey, this is the first book of 2026 I'm going to read. And I'm going to read only that book. And then when I'm done reading that book, then I'm going to do a review. I'll do a halfway review, do a full review. Now I realize it's going to be the second book in the Dungeon Crawling Carl series and Rhythms of War. That's because I want to read the one that came out last year. And then I'll move on to the trilogy that I purchased maybe a year and a half ago. But yeah, so the thing about it is that when you buy more books than you will ever read in your lifetime, that's when things get out of control. That's when things get out of control. That's when things become really bad. Because you're going to be surrounded by books that you are never going to read, that you're never going to enjoy. You just bought them for the aesthetics or because they were popular or whatever. And you're going to find yourself drowned in books. And it is possible to drown in books. And also, and I do not mean to bring this up, but it does promote hoarding. So if you've got somebody who has a mental condition known as hoarding, or they have another name for it, but we call it hoarding, and they're constantly watching videos of people saying, read these books, they will go out and they will do exactly what you want them to do. And before long, they've got totes after totes after totes of unread books. And they just cannot stop buying more and more and more books. With me, I'm putting a cork in it. And that's a huge reason why I like Kindles and I like Nooks, because you can have the large, gigantic library without it being physically present. So it is something that is a problem, and we are feeding the hoarding situation as far as books are concerned. I just don't want to be one of those. I absolutely refuse to be one of those. So my goal, I don't know if I've mentioned this because I've been talking for nearly 19 minutes, but what I'm actually going to do is, if I want to read another Stephen King book, I will go to the library and see if they've got it, or I'll go on the internet and go on the library system, and if they've got it, if they have it, then I'm going to go to the library and pick it up. I'm buying the entire Dark Tower series because it's cheaper physical than it is digital. I am currently reading The Marriage, or it's supposed to be The Perfect Marriage, but there's perfect is crossed out. And I am enjoying that book. That's a Kindle Unlimited book. I don't have to pay for it. But yeah, I'm definitely keeping my Kindle Unlimited because I want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy the hundreds of thousands of books I can read, and it's not super expensive. What I'm actually considering doing is getting the Kindle Unlimited for an entire year. So at least I have a year to get back in the green. But yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. That's definitely what I'm going to do. So that's the thing. That's the thing that people really have to understand about how bad overconsumption of books are. And and the problems that, the problems it can others I gotta hang now. Problems it can lead to. Definitely the problems it can lead to. And it's sad. It really is. It absolutely is sad that we have to have these conversations about overconsumption and about these insane challenges that people like do and everything. So yeah, it's a problem, and people can deny it. People can say, oh, that's not an issue, that's not a problem. It is a problem. It's a very, very big, huge problem. And it's like, I just shake my head. I really do. I really do. So, as I said, after I get my final book haul, until I get all the books read, I will be on a book buying ban. So, like I said before, no Amazon Prime. I'm going to do the yearly Kindle Unlimited, so that I can enjoy Kindle Unlimited essentially for free for an entire year. And I'm going to the library to get books. I'm going to, I'm going to definitely do that. And I'm still waiting on a package that was shipped off the 17th. I've been waiting almost 2 weeks for that thing. But anyways, so yeah, I will see you guys next time. And until then, be well.